The Galactic Throne lounged in complacency. Centuries of dominance had bred confidence, bordering on arrogance. Entire sectors trembled at their name, and few dared challenge their authority. Intelligence reports of hidden human fleets, scattered beyond known space, were dismissed as exaggerations, rumors perpetuated by traitors and smugglers. Humans! Admiral Vexler chuckled aboard the flagship Imperial Sovereign. A primitive species, contained, harmless. No fleet of theirs could challenge even a fraction of our armada. His officers nodded, though a few hesitated, remembering the scattered skirmishes humanity had occasionally fought on the fringes. Nothing that threatened the throne. Nothing significant. Unbeknownst to them, deep in the uncharted void, a colossal human dreadnought waited. Its hull, black and angular, was bristling with weaponry. Railguns, plasma batteries, drones, and stealth systems were fully operational. Every system had been dormant for decades, concealed from the galaxy's gaze, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Within the ship, the human AI monitored the throne's fleet through deep space sensors. Calculations ran faster than any human mind, predicting movements, firing arcs, and defensive maneuvers. It had no crew, yet it acted with the precision of an entire armada. Admiral Vexler's fleet moved through the system, unchallenged. Convoys and patrols were ignored. Nothing indicated danger. Yet every step they took brought them closer to a weapon the galaxy had forgotten. A silent pulse rippled through the void. The human dreadnought's cloaking systems disengaged in a single, deliberate motion. It was no longer hidden. The massive vessel appeared on all sensors, impossible in size, overwhelming in power, and utterly unyielding. "Captain," one officer stammered, that can't be real." Vexler leaned forward, eyes narrowing at the readouts. The ship's specifications defied logic, history, and reason. He swallowed hard. "Prepare all batteries," he barked, voice cracking. "Target it and destroy it before it moves." But it was already too late. The human dreadnought had decloaked. The throne's greatest fleet, the symbol of centuries of dominance, had just realized the galaxy had underestimated humanity. And regret had only just begun. The human dreadnought moved with deliberate precision, engines glowing faintly as it aligned itself against the throne fleet. Its sheer size alone dwarfed even the largest capital ships, and every sensor in the system screamed with impossible readings. "Captain," an officer on the Imperial Sovereign gasped, "their weapons, they're charging at full capacity. We've never seen energy outputs like this." Admiral Vexler slammed his fist on the console. "Open fire. Concentrate everything on that vessel." A volley of plasma beams streaked across the void, and railgun rounds tore through the distance. But the human dreadnought moved with preternatural foresight, adjusting shields and hull reinforcements instantaneously. Not a single shot penetrated. "Shields holding too strong," another officer shouted. "They're anticipating our fire." The dreadnought responded not with haste, but with calculated action. Railguns fired, cutting through the Imperial Sovereign's escort ships before they could regroup. Drone swarms launched from hidden bays, intercepting missiles and sabotaging engines of fleeing ship. Hale's voice echoed across the fleet comms, calm, commanding, and cold. "You underestimate humanity. Cease your aggression or face extinction." The throne's admirals scoffed. "Words from a single ship. This is absurd. They cannot." Then the first capital ship exploded. A precise railgun shot tore through its reactor core, igniting fuel lines and causing a chain reaction that obliterated its escorts in seconds. Panic spread like wildfire. The throne fleet attempted evasive maneuvers, but the human dreadnought predicted every move, cutting off escape routes and striking with absolute efficiency. "Report," Vexler shouted, his voice trembling. "All frontline units destroyed or disabled, Admiral," came the reply. "They are too fast, too precise. Our fleet cannot compete." The human dreadnought rotated slowly, as if surveying the battlefield, while drones and secondary batteries continued their systematic assault. One vessel after another fell, and with each strike, the Throne fleet's confidence crumbled. Vexler's eyes widened in disbelief. It's not just a ship. It's humanity itself. And in that instant, the Throne realized the cruel truth. Underestimating humans was the gravest mistake any species could make. The battle escalated with terrifying speed. The human dreadnought moved like a predator among prey, each maneuver deliberate, each strike devastating. Railguns tore through alien cruisers, cutting through shields and armor as if they were paper. Plasma batteries ignited engines and weapon systems, turning entire squadrons into drifting firestorms. Drones swarmed, disabling escape thrusters and guidance arrays, leaving ships stranded and helpless. Admiral Vexler's flagship shuddered as a massive railgun shot punched through its hull. The bridge erupted in alarms and explosions, officers flung against consoles. "Return fire!" Vexler screamed, but chaos had already taken hold. The dreadnought anticipated every counterattack. Secondary weapons unleashed synchronized volleys that obliterated flanking ships before they could form cohesive formations. Interceptors and drone swarms hunted fighters relentlessly, leaving no avenue of retreat. Warp lanes were blocked by stealth frigates, trapping capital ships that had hoped to escape. On the Judicator, Captain Hale's voice was calm but deadly. "Do not overextend. Target command structures first, then neutralize support vessels. Leave nothing standing that can threaten humanity again." Each command was executed flawlessly. The dreadnought fired again, tearing through the enemy's flagship and destroying its communications array in a single shot. Alien admirals struggled to coordinate, but their fleet had already fractured into isolated pockets of ships, each destroyed before it could mount any resistance. "Report," Vexler barked, voice cracking. "All capital ships destroyed or disabled, Admiral. Enemy firepower overwhelming. They anticipate our moves perfectly." The Throne's arrogance crumbled under the sheer scale of the destruction. Ships that had once symbolized centuries of dominance were now molten debris drifting across space. The galaxy had never witnessed such precision, such overwhelming power from a single human vessel. Hale's voice cut across comms, cold and absolute. "This is humanity. We never forgive. We never surrender. And we end threats completely." The first strike was over. The Throne fleet was decimated, its reputation shattered, and the human dreadnought had already begun moving toward the next target. The galaxy realized, in that instant, that humanity was not a species to be trifled with. Humanity responded, and it responded with absolute annihilation. The remnants of the Throne's fleet scattered in desperate retreat, but there was nowhere to run. The human dreadnought moved with relentless precision, cutting off escape routes and intercepting warp corridors before any ship could jump. Stealth frigates emerged from the void to block exits, while drone swarms disabled engines and navigation arrays with surgical accuracy. Every evasive maneuver the aliens attempted was anticipated, countered, and neutralized before it could succeed. Captain Hale observed the tactical display aboard the Judicator. "Target all remaining vessels. Do not allow a single ship to survive. Humanity cannot tolerate unfinished threats." The dreadnought's railguns tore through fleeing capital ships, striking reactor cores and command centers with perfect timing. Plasma batteries ignited entire wings of fighters, leaving only debris drifting through the void. Drone swarms swarmed disabled ships, finishing what weapons fire could not. The aliens' greatest fleet, the pride of the Throne, was systematically erased in hours. Marshal Vector, aboard his flagship, tried to rally the surviving ships. "Form up! Concentrate fire!" he shouted. But the human fleet anticipated every maneuver, destroying command vessels before coordination could occur. Every strike was calculated, leaving no chance for recovery. Front-line units neutralized. Secondary forces disabled. "No combat-capable vessels remain," Tactical Officer Lin reported. Hale's expression was calm, unyielding. Prepare for cleanup operations. Ensure the battlefield is clear. Humanity leaves no loose ends. The alien species had underestimated one immutable truth. Humans endure, humans adapt, and humans never forgive. 10 million lives had been slaughtered, and humanity's response was absolute. Entire systems were cleared of resistance, fleets obliterated, and the throne's power shattered in a single, devastating campaign. The galaxy learned a lesson it would never forget: cross humanity and face total, unrelenting annihilation. Silence settled over the battlefield. The throne's fleets were gone, obliterated, scattered, or drifting as lifeless wreckage across the star systems. Human dreadnoughts and supporting vessels hovered above the ruins, scanning for any lingering threats, but none remained. Every ship capable of resistance had been destroyed. Captain Hale observed the aftermath from the bridge of the Judicator. "Status report," he commanded. "All confirmed neutralized, Captain." "No active threats remain," Tactical Officer Lin replied. Admiral Rhea Calder joined him, eyes sweeping the holodisplay. "They believed killing millions would intimidate us. Instead, they awakened the full force of humanity." Across the galaxy, word of the devastation spread rapidly. Neutral worlds, traders, and surviving alien observers broadcast the tale of 10 million humans slaughtered, and the total annihilation of the species responsible. Humanity had not only avenged its dead, but had shown the galaxy the cost of underestimating them. Hale addressed the fleet through comms. "Let this serve as a warning. Humanity forgives nothing, forgets nothing, and eliminates all threats completely. This is the fate of anyone who dares attack us." The human fleet began its slow return to Earth, engines powered down, weapons offline, leaving the galaxy in awe. The shadow of their power lingered in every system, a silent but unforgettable reminder. Humanity was a force unlike any other. For the first time, the galaxy understood the truth. Never cross humanity. Those who had thought themselves untouchable now feared a species that could, and would, respond with total, uncompromising vengeance.